Do you ever struggle sewing circles and curves without getting any little puckers or creases in your seam? Let me show you a really simple way to get a perfect curved seam every time. This hat project that I'm working on has a 1/4 inch seam allowance. This circle can be a little bit difficult to pin straight, so let me show you how I make sure that there's no little tucks when I sew. As you work your way around the circle, with your left hand on the back, you can feel if the fabric's uneven and that it'll pucker when you start sewing. Just like this, I can feel that on the back, this is gonna pucker when I sew it. So what I'm gonna do is pull out that middle pin, give the fabric a little bit of a stretch, and then put 2 pins in its place. And now you can see that it's straight and that unevenness and extra fabric has been worked into the circle. Step 2 to get a perfect circle when you sew is to make sure your left hand is actually in between the 2 pieces of fabric. That way you can feel if there's any puckers or tucks on that bottom part of the fabric. And then when I sew, I'm actually helping the fabric along, making sure it's lined up with the top piece. So I'm not just stretching it, but I'm making sure it's lined up with that top piece. And there you have it, a perfect curved seam that is flat and smooth. So this raises another question. Should you sew over pins like I did in this video? Follow to get that answer and more sewing tips and tricks.